was done growing up, had enough of the sun, but suddenly I can see everything evergreen. I won't pretend I ever found my
Hello everyone and welcome back to Angie's Table. Today I'm going to make two Thanksgiving sides. The first one we're going to start off with is a really fast chicken pot pie soup. So I guess this isn't really a side, it could be, but this is something I make every year using leftovers from the Thanksgiving meal. We're going to start off with a rotisserie chicken that you can buy for so cheap at Costco, and we ate some, had a little leftovers. So I'm going to strip the leftover rotisserie chicken into strips. The traditional chicken pot pie is using the puff pastry into a pie shape, but I don't really like it because then I feel like the puff pastry becomes a little soggy, and I like to separate my foods. That's just kind of how I am. So I'm going to make the puff pastry separately and use it kind of like bread for dipping. And we're going to make our roux. So in a big pot, melt butter and cook our onions over medium heat. I'm going to saute everything until the onions are soft and translucent. Then we'll reduce the heat to low and we'll stir in our flour, salt, black pepper, and garlic powder to make the roux. Roux is basically a thickening agent for creamy sauces like for pastas or for soups, and it serves as the base. For instance, when you make Alfredo pasta, you will make a roux. Now we'll slowly add in our chicken broth, heavy whipping cream, and water in parts, and we're going to whisk it all together so that we don't have clumps of the roux just floating around. We want to make sure that we break all of that apart. And once this is well stirred, increase the heat to medium, and we're going to add in our chicken and frozen veggies. I always like to make sure that I have carrots, peas, and corn in it, and everything else is up to you guys. Sometimes with leftovers, I'll even add in mashed potatoes because it thickens it up, and I think it tastes really good. Sometimes I'll even add cranberry in there too. I'm really sorry guys, I forgot to film all the parts where we were eating because this was Grace's second day back from the hospital after she gave birth to Ella. My mind was everywhere and I just forgot to film, but trust me, this is a really good recipe. I really want you guys to follow it, and my family always loves my chicken pie after a Thanksgiving meal. Now we'll cook this for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the veggies are fully cooked, and let's move on to our second side dish.
I was done growing up, had enough of chasing.
Now we're on to our next side, au gratin, and this is basically just scalloped potatoes, but they are different because au gratin has cheese that's sprinkled on top. So to begin with, we're going to thinly slice 3 potatoes and put it into a bath of cold water just so that it releases the starch and prevents color change. I tried to use this grater and failed. Oh, 힘들어. Okay, let's get this. So we're going to stick to the slicing method using our knives. Try to cut it as thinly as you can. It'll speed up the cooking process, and I think it tastes better when they're thinner pieces. And now we're going to cut up our onions and our garlic. So to make the sauce, we are going to make roux once again. Start off with melting our butter and adding our onions to that and garlic this time. I'm going to sprinkle some salt in it at this point over medium heat, and we'll cook the onions until they're softened. Then we'll add in our flour to mix it all together once the onions become translucent. So this is the roux, and we're going to stir this for about a minute, and then we'll reduce the heat to low and combine it with milk and heavy whipping cream and the chicken broth in parts. Make sure to do a really good job with the stirring so that we don't have clumps. Once the liquids are added in, let's kick the heat back up to medium and stir in our black pepper and more salt if it's needed. And we'll cook it until it becomes thick. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So now this is the part where we assemble everything. I think this is the fun part. And Essie was staying with me at this time, so she is at our home too. First, we're going to add some sauce to the casserole dish. And we're going to place 1/3 of the potatoes on the bottom and pour in 1/3 of the cream sauce over the top. And we're going to sprinkle some cheddar cheese on it and repeat this step 2 more times. The amount of cheddar cheese is up to you. You don't have to stick to 2 to 3. If you want it to be extra cheesy, you can feel free to add more cheese. So then you just repeat potato, the white sauce, and then cheese. Potato, white sauce, cheese, potato, white sauce, and top it off with cheese. Cover this casserole dish with foil and bake for about 40 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. And then you can uncover it and broil it for about 3 to 4 minutes just to create this golden crispy top layer. But I'm going to be making this at Grace's house, so I'm just going to keep it in foil and take it over to her house. So we're at Grace's house. I haven't been here in so long. So we got that going in the oven, and back to the chicken pot pie. I have some frozen puff pastry that I got from Trader Joe's, and I think it was really frozen because it was kind of hard to cut. They were kind of just crumbly. But I am going to be using an egg wash to brush on top, and this creates a very golden color and crispy layer on the puff pastry. Once again, very sorry that I did not record the final products or the eating portion, but I hope you guys try these recipes out and let us know in the comment section how you like it. Thanks for watching.